Welcome back, guys. Talking Sports Wearing Shorts back again. Episode 3, AFL prediction round with my good friend MrJxckss. We're back again, mate. I don't want to talk about our predictions for last round because they were fucking shocking, but we're gonna have to delve into it.
Oh, yeah. We'll get into it in the recap when we're going through these games. But yes, it was quite bad.
Mate.
I don't think we'll be the only ones though. I think it was a tough round.
It was a tough round.
People, so
I mean, a lot of them didn't turn out the way we wanted to, like Collingwood and Brisbane. Our two teams.
Getting Richmond Bulldogs.
Richmond Bulldogs. But that's like one that kind of doesn't shock me. You know what I mean? Especially the Dogs.
Rio GWS doesn't shock me either. But I mean, it happened.
No. So, but yes, I mean, I would say that you and I are very pissed off this week.
Oh, yes.
For different reasons. So,
yes.
Interesting. But nevertheless, we will jump into those when we get round to it.
And we're getting deep into it straight away because on Thursday it is the first game of the round and it is the Brisbane Lions versus Collingwood. Now,
mate.
Something I need to get off my chest, right, before we get into anything. And this isn't just because of the Brisbane Geelong game, right? I've watched a lot of games this year and the umpiring has been fucking terrible for majority of games. And
it's been pretty bad.
Before we get into it, I'm not even saying Brisbane Geelong was biased. It wasn't biased umpiring. It was disgustingly bad both ways. There was stuff getting called for no reason both ways. There was stuff that wasn't getting called both ways. And I turned to my mate in the second quarter and I said, because us and Geelong are so close, a bad call is going to have a massive impact late. And we could get it or they could get it. They got the luck of the draw. And
no, that free kick not called is just beyond me. But Tom Hawkins has been getting away with it for years, so it's not surprising.
That push in the back, you could take that fucking footage, mate, and you could put that footage in the AFL rulebook as an example of a push in the back.
Well, the funny thing is that like I've seen far less been called, and that wasn't called.
And like I said, the game wasn't biased. It was going to come down either way. It was just terrible umpiring. But I think it's fair that we can demand better from the umps. There's no consequences. They can come in, week out, be fucking terrible, and have no... That bloke that was 20 metres away from that push on the back, he should have a spell this week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like that in every code, though, isn't it? Like, there's no consequence for anybody in any code. Like, that's why people get to the shits with, when we talk about football and we talk about VAR, they get the shits with that because there's no consequence. And it's the same in AFL. Like, I know that, like, I've come from a different sport, watching it my entire life. And I hate the whole, you're not allowed to have a conversation or fucking, you're not allowed to disagree with the umpires when they are flat out fucking useless.
Wrong.
When they make the most basic errors and if you have a conversation with them or give them a bit of lip, it's a fucking 50-meter or it's a free kick or whatever. Yeah. It's a joke. Like, they need to get off their high horse. If you're going to be... This is the thing. If you're going to command a fucking presence of, we are the elite, don't touch us, don't argue, be fucking elite and be... You know what I mean? Make sure that elite, you are... Yeah. Make sure that you are clinical in your umpiring, because even in the West Coast Collingwood game, there was so many calls that weren't called for us.
It's terrible. Across the board. It's just terrible across the board.
It's across the board. I don't think there's any, like you said, there's no bias in terms of teams or anything like that. Or maybe there fucking is. I don't know. But from what I've seen so far this year, just the level of it is fucking lousy, which is really strange because it's never normally this bad.
It's
this early.
It's gone bad.
It's gone really bad, and we just need a rework. Like, it's just like you can almost guarantee every game you watch now there's going to be a decision that's going to impact something, a result or whatever, and it's just luck of the draw if you get it or not.
If there's teams that tight, like how I will say, if we had Big O, we win that game, and it's not that tight. We had fucking Fullerton, and we can get to that if we need to. But
yeah, he got
we don't need to see him again. I'm sure he's a lovely kid. I'm sure he's lovely, but
I'm sure he's just a backup. Let's be honest about it.
Can you believe we played through the final series last year with Fullerton? You wonder why we didn't get fucking far. Huh? But I'll leave him be because he's probably getting enough sticks. So that's fair. I guess we'll leave the umpires because I could go on for about 3 hours about these.
I mean, we need to
Muppets.
move on because
Yes, we do.
It's one of these things where we can just get involved, man.
Yes, man. And we do know a couple of ins. Obviously, big go back for Brisbane. Outs for Collingwood is Ginnivan, Myercheck, Elliott, and I feel like there's another one.
No, nobody else is out. But like, if you're talking our big outs, like our whole forward line is completely cooked. Like McCreary's still out, Elliott's out, Ginnivan's out, Myercheck's out. So it's not looking good for us. I'm really worried. I think if we were full strength, it would have been close. I still would have tipped Brisbane, but I still think it would have been really close.
I thought it was going to be very competitive. I was excited, but this is scary now with that many outs.
Thing is, though, with Collingwood, is that defensively we're probably shaped up to match Brisbane. Like it's not going to be a runaway, but the fact that we don't have genuine scorers up top is going to be the issue. So I don't think Brisbane will blow us away. It's more the fact that we're going to struggle to score, which will then create the gap. Because Brisbane will score, but because we can't keep up with it, because I doubt that the only thing I can imagine, and I could be wrong here, but if it was me, I'd be putting to go in the forward line because there's no other place you can put him now. He has to put him there now. So he's got to play forward, and then you can kind of throw Josh Dacos up there.
Yeah,
you might have to throw
Nick for a little bit.
You might have to throw Nick in the middle. I don't know. It's going to be very, very. It'll be interesting to see the team sheet. Tomorrow night because we play Thursday. It'll be interesting to see the team sheet because I have no idea how McRae's going to play this. But for the Brisbane side, look, they're going to come out. They're going to want to be firing on all cylinders because they're going to want to make a statement, especially because it's against the Pies and everybody in the league always wants to beat the Pies.
That's true.
So Brisbane are no different in that regard.
And like I said, I thought this was. I was tipping this to be under 12 points. Brisbane way,
and I think that's fair. I think that, like full strength. I think that's probably
full
justified, but not now. I can't see it.
I can't. It'll be some feat if you get and you're paying $4.70 now. I'm pretty sure that was a lot lower before those outs came out. So we're both going Brisbane there.
Yeah, I'm going Brisbane. I'm going to say Brisbane by. I can never say that I want to get my team's going to get smashed by plus 40, but. I'll say Brisbane 35. With that,
go on.
I'll say Brisbane 35 by 35.
Yeah. With that forward line being out, all you want to see is attitude. You just want to see the Collingwood have the right attitude coming into that. That's it.
The thing is, like, they have shown that at the start of the year. What's let us down is in our fourth quarter we kind of die in the arsehole, but that'll come in time. But I think the commitment's there, so I think they'll be up for it. But it's just going to be, because if they go with like Cox or Kruger, like. And you can't play three tools. So you can't play Cox, Kruger, and Cameron. So it's going to be awkward. I'm worried.
This is the funny thing is people keep missing that Brisbane do. We play Fort, Big O, and Joe. We know everyone's saying you can't do it, but we run three tools, and then you got McStay. So I mean, it's interesting.
But Big O's not really part of that forward line. He's a rock.
Big O. Oh, you're talking about just big three forwards. I get what you mean. Yes.
Yeah, it's talking about big three forwards. That's not really done much. Because like usually we have Grundy, Cameron, and then obviously Smalls. With Myercheck's not he's kind of a hybrid.
Yeah, he's a mid-sized forward, I think.
Those fucking marks on the weekend. I don't know if you've seen them. They were fucking brilliant.
I missed them, but yeah,
mate, just have a look at the highlights. Some of his marks are incredible. One mark's going in Mark of the Year for sure.
Oh,
at least a nomination.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. Both Brisbane. Hopefully we get off to a good start this week. Well, maybe not hopefully for you, but we'll see how we go. Another Friday night doubleheader, which I'm not sure why, because I'm pretty sure the AFLW Grand Final was played last week. So I don't understand why we're having a Friday doubleheader.
Is it in different states? It has to be.
Yeah, but hold the double header, but one game's at 4:20 p.m. and the other that's way better. One's at 7:40. So we're getting two games. And the first one is North Melbourne Kangas versus the Dogs. Dogs don't want to lose this one.
No, that's like this is a
Danger.
banana skin written all over it.
Danger game.
Yeah, danger game. I'll tell you what. I had Sydney. Sydney were in my multi, and for a large part of that, I was thinking, "Are you fucking kidding? North Melbourne are going to be the team to beat them." But they managed to scrape over the line. I'll tell you one thing, and I'll say this live on air, and everybody watching this, you bookmark it, save this. You're never catching me putting fucking Carlton ever again in my multi. You have ruined my fucking week. I nailed it, and you let me down. You fucking pieces of shit. Carlton Blues, yeah. You ain't getting in the top 4. You're nothing. You're nothing. I ain't doing it ever again.
Collingwood fan having Carlton in the multi anyway. That just doesn't seem right.
Well, I mean, I backed him. I thought, you know what? I'm going to get on the hype. I'm going to get on the bandwagon. And then Cripps goes down in the first fucking quarter. And then I'm like, great. My super coach is fucked. I think I still won, but still, super coach is fucked. And then Gold Coast.
Noah Anderson with the game for the ages.
Come on. Never again.
Nah, yeah. And it's just hard betting against Gold Coast because one week they're fantastic, next week they're bollocks.
And the North Melbourne of 2013, 14, 15, where they were like semi-decent but then semi-shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fucked my weekend. But regardless, I think the Dogs have to win this. They must win this. If they want any shot at being a top 4 side, this has to be it. Because I just I don't know what's going on with them this year. Something's not right. But we've seen this so many times with Bulldogs where they make runs late in the year and they're fine.
Yeah, they can just they can win 8 in a row like that.
They can. They just absolutely can. But I don't know. What do you think, mate? I don't think the Kangaroos are good enough to beat the Bulldogs.
No, I think Kangaroos spent a lot of tickets last week. I expect them to come out pretty hard again, but I think Dogs just have too much class and they shouldn't lose this. So I'm going Dogs 30 plus.
Look, yeah, I'll go 50.
I'll come
by
down.
50.
Oh, there we go.
Well, they beat them by 128 last year.
Yeah, that's right. Who didn't?
Well, yeah. That's right.
So we're going Dogs with that one. And then it's Friday night, 7:40 p.m. the West Coast Eagles versus the Sydney Swans. Now, I have to say, for the last couple of years, I have been an advocate for shitting on West Coast with how they've dealt with COVID. This year, they've been brilliant. They've handled it. They haven't sulked. They've got on with it. And they actually won a game. I think they had a few back.
You fucking bastards.
It's always the way it's the bogey team for you.
It's just styles, man. It's styles and like we've got this retarded thing where we keep playing every time we play against West Coast, we'll just pump it long every single time and Jeremy McGovern has a fucking field day.
Yep.
And then vice versa, they pump it long to Darling. Darling and Kennedy, every single time they play Collingwood have a rout. It happens guaranteed. But they don't do it to everybody, so I reckon Sydney will win.
Yep.
And they're really frustrated.
Yeah,
West Coast will win one game out of fucking 6 and it'll be against us.
Franklin is out though.
Franklin's out, but so's Nick Nat. And West Coast
can't
without
get a run, man. He's Nick Nat is the biggest what could have been in the game, and he just cannot put it together.
But on a game by game basis, if you take a single game, like just a single game of Nick Nat Nui, right, and you put him in, I struggle to find a more dominant player, physicality wise, and in terms of impacting than Nick Nat. I think the way he could just tap it down to himself, he's a ruck rover.
Yep,
it's ridiculous.
Imagine if he had 5 years put together, how good he could be.
Yeah,
it's such a shame.
The thing, though.
It's a knee again.
It's another Jamie Elliott, man. It's one of these where if the consistency was there, they could have been absolutely elite. They just can't stay on the pitch for long enough. And the upsetting thing for Jamie Elliott, just touching on him, is that it's not even like a knee or hamstring. It's a fucking shoulder.
He's done a shoulder before, hasn't he?
No, he's only ever done hammies and stuff like that. So this one's an awkward one. But yeah, Nick Nat is a knee. So
this has to be the 5th knee he's done.
Yeah, for a guy that size, it just doesn't bode well.
No, it sucks,
man. It's a bit like the Derek Rose thing, man. Just too much weight.
It sucks, man. It really does. So I wish we were to see a clean version of him put 8 years or something together. But yeah, with them 2 outs, I'm still. So was it Hugh Dixon coming in for Nick Nat, I imagine, in the ruck? But I'm still going Sydney. I think Sydney.
Whatever happened to Vardy? Did he just fucking bail?
I'm not sure.
Does he just not get picked anymore?
No clue.
Mate, after the 2018
clue.
grand final,
You're
I swear
right.
to God, I have not seen it.
Disappeared.
Yeah, flat out. Wins a granny.
Too many
And
Red
he's
Bulls.
still in the side because I've seen him play a game here and there. I
Yep.
don't know what's happened. Like, he's just disappeared. Because they would run, what they would do a lot of the time is they would run Oscar Allen in there a lot.
And he's good. But he's good as a
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I like
that's,
Oscar as a
that's
forward.
that second sort of, like every team does now where that forward drops in. But he's injured, so yeah, I don't know. Is it in Perth?
It is at the Optus Stadium, but I still think...
Happily back yet?
Oh, he's got to be. He's been sitting on 1 to 3 weeks on the injury list for 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's, that's a big in for me if Papley is back. So
It'd be a good straight in for Franklin, even though they're different players. It's still
absolutely different, but the X factor sort of impact sort of thing would be.
And he plays
fantastic.
big. Papley plays big.
He plays big.
It's weird.
Some of the goals he scores are out of this world. He's a great player. I think Sydney got too much in the kitty.
They have to win. I think it'll be close.
It will be close. Great throwback to some of the grand finals they had in the early noughties. So,
yes.
But yeah, I'll back Sydney.
Yeah, me too. Sydney. Heaney's going to kick 4.
Hopefully, fucking Isaac Heaney actually gives me some legitimate points this week.
He got a couple this week, didn't he? 130.
Did he?
I think he got a couple. Yeah, got a couple.
I keep going off that fucking app, mate. I can't trust it.
McInerney for Sydney had 14 disposals and all these marks in the last quarter. He went from 60 points to 137. It was insanity.
I was like, how does this cunt keep picking these players? It's ridiculous.
That was a good pick, that one. And I've held on to that bloke for 2 weeks being out. I traded Cripps, though. Gonskis. They reckon only 4 weeks, but we'll get to that.
I'm going to have to trade him because I can't have that price.
No,
I
it's
can't
too
have
much
that price
on
on
the
the
bench. So we're going Sydney there. I think it's going to be close under 12. Saturday first game. It's an interesting one. St Kilda versus Gold Coast. And to touch on St Kilda, they have impressed.
They've been brilliant.
They have impressed me.
I think they've been brilliant.
Brilliant.
Only for the last couple of weeks. But the thing is, they started fucking lousy. And this is what St Kilda kind of do. But I think you got to touch on the fact that Max King is brilliant. Max King's the real deal. Ben King also is the real deal, but obviously he's injured. But these two Kings are going to be the next best forwards in the game. It's so clear to me. And the hold he has over St Kilda. But they played brilliant against the Hawks. I thought Paddy Ryder coming back into the side was a massive impact for them.
Quickly for 1 round. He's out for another 2 now.
Is he? I thought he avoided it.
No, have you seen the bump?
I swear he avoided it, but anyway.
That might have happened tonight. I might be. So it is Tuesday night. They charged him for 2. Did he get off?
I'm fairly certain. We're checking this live. For people watching this video, this is how we do it. We're going to check it live right now. And I'm going, I swear I saw this on the ride home.
I'd be surprised if he got off.
I could be wrong. So breaking news, Tribunal upholds Ryder suspension.
Upholds means a...
So he's Paddy Ryder's bid to have his 2-game ban overturned has failed, so he is out.
Yeah, I didn't think he'd get overturned. Which is a shame because it's softish, but...
First comment, I don't even know if the camera's going to pick this up. First comment is, it's back to front. But the first comment says, well deserved.
Well, it's not that bad, but what does it injustice is the velocity on this bloke's head from the whiplash makes it look terrible. He's like, fucking... Yeah.
And that's usually...
ridiculous.
It's usually the case, but... It's usually, well, Degoe's fucking banned for 1 game.
Yeah, no,
well, it's the same thing.
Well,
but you know what the worst thing about that one is that fucking Dangerfield jumped up and he was sweet. So, I mean, I didn't see the Ryder one. I didn't see the game. Didn't know.
No, he was concussed. Apparently got up, but he was concussed.
He was concussed. I feel like, I don't know what you think on this one, but I feel like if there's a concussion, that's just an automatic. You're gone. You don't even fight it.
He concussed old mate, and it was soft as big went. But that bloke's got to have to work on his neck muscles or something because he got nothing there holding that. His head just absolutely whip cracked.
Well, it was either that or it's the force of the big fucking fella throwing him to the ground.
It's so strange. His body stands still and his head moves forward 3 meters and then swings back. It's ballistic. But so he's out. It does show how much better they are with him in.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely, you are right. But it means that Hayes will probably end up playing again, which is He's fine. He's done well. So I don't know. I think Saints have got enough in the tank, mate. I think they've impressed, and they should have enough to get it over the line. I think GC can have periods where they look really fucking bogus.
Yeah, I think this will be a shit week for them.
Yeah, look,
last week. This will be a shit week.
That's what I mean. One good week, they're due a bad one. So
Yeah.
I'll go the Saints. Although it would not surprise me with St Kilda. Sometimes they can shit the bed themselves. So.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll back the Saints by 20.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Me too. Saints by 20. I'm backing it, but I think it could be competitive until the last quarter, and then Saints will take it away. Let's see what are the odds. Oh, Saints are hard favourites, $1.38. That's probably too much for me, but all right.
Collingwood were $1.35 against West Coast, and that's why I immediately knew that we were going to lose. I'm like, that's too good.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so Saints by 20. All right, what have we got next? We got Adelaide v Richmond.
Ooh, cheeky.
Isn't it?
Cheeky. I still think Richmond will win.
It's at Adelaide. I don't know, eh? Oh, it's tight.
You know what? I'll tell you why. This is why I think why. Not even football, like in terms of on the pitch related. I still think that this Tex Walker thing ain't put to bed yet, and I think that
it's not.
They're bringing him back.
I'm surprised he came back.
Well, yeah, and there's been some criticism in the media from it, I saw criticism of this guy like celebrating his goal, and I was like, well, that's a bit unfair.
That's
like,
harsh.
I was going to celebrate his goal. Yeah, but he's being booed, and then well, that's going to happen. But what's his name? Nix, the coach. Nix, is it? Yeah. He's like kind of coming out because Adelaide did a. It's awkward, right? Because Adelaide Football Club, they did a post on Twitter or Facebook or whatever of a welcome back of Tex Walker, and like it's not like it's a welcome back because you've been injured. It's a welcome back because you're racist.
Yeah, you
and
didn't
so
go on
there's
holiday.
a lot of there's a lot of awkwardness around Adelaide at the moment because there's a lot of people that were kind of
they probably shouldn't have done that.
Pissed off with the fact that Adelaide did that. So for that alone, I don't know if that club's good enough to handle it right now. I don't think they've got big enough heads in the dressing room, so to speak. And Richmond are that well-oiled machine, as we know, and they got a bit of form against the Bulldogs, and fucking Reeve will be back. Obviously, scoring more, the same amount of goals now as his cousin, who I always thought was a better player, but statistically wise.
Well, here's the thing. I think Jack's been playing in a much better team for longer than Nick did. We'll just leave it at that. I know Nick had some brilliant 2 years, but he didn't have 5.
Didn't have 5, but you could argue that St Kilda should have won 2 premierships in that time. They lost in
those 2 years. They should have. Yes, absolutely.
2009 grand final, 2010 grand final, 2010 grand final replay. So that's 3 grand finals. Zip. Didn't win a single one. So
I agree.
They definitely had a chance to. I felt that in 2009, St Kilda were the best team, and Geelong just beat them on the day. And in 2010, they weren't the best team, but they got to the grand final, and they were the best team on the day, but didn't get over the line, and then got smoked. Replay, as we all know. But
most underrated.
That the conversation's up for grabs because Nick could easily have 2 to 3 premierships. But it just didn't happen for the Saints.
Still hurts him to talk about it too.
As it hasn't happened since 1966. So
Saints.
It's a long time without a title. You know what it is, though? You know what I've noticed over the last, since 2016? A lot of the clubs that haven't won for 50 years plus are winning these premierships. So I'm not saying St Kilda are going to win the premiership this year. Well, I'm just saying that maybe they're in the ballpark.
No,
it took Richmond had 37 years. Then Doggies since 54 or whatever.
Something ballistic.
54 for the Dogs, I think, and then it was 64 for the Demons. So,
they should come around shortly if you go by them stats.
Bit of superstition.
You've convinced me anyway. Going back to Richmond, Adelaide, I'm backing you now, Richmond. Yeah, you've convinced me. Richmond.
I just think too much.
I don't think it's going to be a flogging though. Adelaide seem to be able to stay in the conversation of matches.
Probably not a flogging, but Richmond do have it in them to just pull someone's pants down.
So we're going to go Richmond on that one, and then on the Saturday night. This is Saturday, yes. Melbourne v GWS, they're going to pump these soft cocks in orange by 110 points.
There's a big sound not coming from the west of the town. It's coming from the mighty fucking Demons. Because this team is playing bang average and winning.
Oh, they're in first gear, bro. They're in first gear.
This is a dynasty written all
They're
over
in
it.
first gear. They literally aren't even... That what they did to Port, how they embarrassed them. And I don't...
They didn't kick a goal in the first half. No. That is just...
A lot of that can go down to Port as well. Because Melbourne didn't leave first gear and they did that to them.
Yeah, that's the worry. I think Melbourne are hitting this peak now. And this happens when you win a premiership. You only got to look at Richmond. You only got to look at Hawthorn. Geelong in that period from 2007 to 2011. When you win a premiership, it gives you that confidence and that belief in your ability. When you haven't won it and you can produce those performances, you're like, I still don't know if we're going to get the big one. But when you win the grand final, you're confident. You're like, you know what? We don't have to play that well, but we're going to win. And then you know that you can always go that next level. And that's where the Demons are at right now. They know they're
so good.
They've got another sort of realm that they can get to. And the worry for the rest of the league is, teams like Brisbane, who are probably the closest to it right now. It might not. Brisbane's best might not even be any fucking.
The worry is they're going to steal everyone else's window because they're going to win them all during it. That's the worry.
Yeah.
Because I don't. Melbourne, you know how there's the camera when people are trying to break into the 50 and they're doing the kick. When there's a camera behind the attacking team, and it is a thing of beauty when that camera's on that angle when someone's attacking Melbourne and you watch how they set up. It is ballistic how fundamentally sound defensively they are. May and Lever will always be 20 meters apart and in line with each other while everyone else marks men. And they just shift. They shift with the space where the kicker can potentially go. So no matter where he kicks it, one of them's there. It is just ballistic. And it is like, I could sit there and watch that tape all day. It's so strange. And it's literally just can't break it down.
They've only lost one game going back to, because they haven't lost a game yet. They only lost, the only game they ever lost last year was against Collingwood. And it surprises me how people do not pull that footage up, because if you watch the way we play them now, if you watch it now, go back and watch that game. For anybody watching it, go back and watch that game, and it's very short
short passes,
short kicks, chip kicks, bringing the defense out, because it's the only way you're going to beat Melbourne. Because if you go long, or if you try to pump it into your 50, they're just like you said, they're set up in a zone.
It's just
the way the game's played nowadays for the defenders in the zonal marking and stuff like that. Someone like Jake Lever, Jeremy McGovern, Jeremy Howe, lots of J's there. They're just too good at the intercept mark.
Oh, too good.
They just pick it off. Just pick it off. And you've got to go short. You just have to go short, or you have to isolate. And you can't isolate those defenders because, like you said, they're set up too well. So they are at a top tier of team right now, and I can't see them being beaten for a long time, so they're going to smoke GWS.
I think they're on 12 in a row, and I think Brisbane have the high. It was in 02, going from 02 to 03, they won 24 in a row. Something like that, and Melbourne are at 12. Now, I mean, 10's still a lot to go.
It's effectively a season, let's put it that way.
Yeah, but across two. So being 12 in a row is a massive feat anyway in itself, so it'll be interesting where they go. And I think they pump GWs because they irritate me how flaky and soft it is to watch them. It frustrates me because I think they're brimmed with talent, and they're just
they need to. I think the bubbles burst with Leon Cameron. Is Leon Cameron?
Well, the interesting thing is going to be how does Toby walk back into that team, because Toby's got none of that bullshit. He ain't flaky. He ain't soft. So how is he going to... He's got a task ahead of him, Toby, if he's going to drag them out of it.
He's a club captain too, isn't he?
Yeah, and rightly so. Who else would you give it to? Fuck me. Anyway,
we'll move on from that. For last year, but he was useless.
Anyway, and I mean, we'll get over quickly, but Whitfield's good, but when he was 21, I thought this kid was going to be the next monster. You know what I mean? So we'll see where that goes.
Hasn't materialised just yet.
No, but he's a good player. But yeah, he's not what I thought he was going to blow up to. So then we're moving on to Sunday. We got Carlton Port Adelaide, and this is now interesting because they don't have Cripps.
Very. And you know what's massive about this? And this is what I noticed against the Gold Coast. And, I mean, realistically, if you want to be honest about it, they were kind of doing this even with Cripps in the game. But the ability to win the contest against Carlton really nullifies everything around them. So Carlton this year, at least in the first 3 games, have won the contest, the contested ball, and by winning the contested ball, it's opened up the game for them, right?
Yeah.
The minute you take that away from them, they crumble. They're still not great defensively in terms of like that long-term system. They've still got some holes. Obviously, their forward line's not exactly finished.
No, it's not finished.
Charlie Curnow, they're great talents, but they're not finished. So now with Cripps out, you've lost your bully. You've lost your big bully. And if you lose that contested ball against Port, who need a win, I'll tell you what. I'd say if Vossi analysed the season, analysed the fixtures, and had a look at the game that he really wanted to implement a style against, it would have been Port Adelaide, and now he's going to have Cripps. So massive. I'm going Port.
Me too. I'm going Port.
This is a game they turn it around.
I don't think they turn it around. I just think they get a win.
Yeah, maybe not. No, maybe not massively. Yeah. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like the game where they get something going, and I think it comes together for them this one, and Carlton to get screwed over twice in a week, get fucked.
Well, I think it's going Port as well because I think we'll get to Hawthorn in a second, but their bubble's well and truly burst. Collingwood, but I think Collingwood, Carlton, the bubble hasn't burst because you're still ahead where you're ahead of where you should have been.
Well, top 8, so
same as Carlton. The bubble hasn't burst, but it might have burst if you're talking top 4. Well, at the moment, St Kilda, I would put in the top 4, even with Carlton being 3-1, and they probably only lost because Cripps got injured. It's a hard conversation, but
my top 4 is this. I'll genuinely speaking, I'll put this with confidence right now. In fact, if there's a sports bet on it, I'd do it. Melbourne, Brisbane, Geelong, Sydney.
No, yeah. I think that's my. No, I didn't have Geelong. What was mine before? I had Dogs in there. Yeah, shocking that one.
I had
Sydney 4th in there.
I had D's, Lions, D's, Dogs, Lions, Port. That was my pick.
Yeah, we all missed somewhere. Oh, we're both going Port there. I don't think it's going to be a lot. I think it'll be 12 points or so, but I'm going Port as well. Then we got another.
Just before we jump on, if Port goes 0-5, Hinkley's getting sacked.
Has to. Atar.
He will.
He can't.
Yeah. If he goes 0-5,
Bullfrog could do better. Get out. We got absolutely cracker and Saturday. No. Oh, that's Sunday. Sorry, Sunday afternoon. Essendon Fremantle.
Interesting.
It is interesting
because Essendon, from what I saw against Adelaide, weren't that great.
No, I think they lose. I think they lose.
But there were some moments where I thought Bombers are going to drop this. So again, still not finished article. I know they've got lots of players out. Obviously, Jake Stringer is one of them. He's a big sort of impact on their side. But they just something hasn't clicked with the Bombers. Like
something
we looked at them at the start of the year, and we thought that they would take that next jump.
I thought they were shit hot.
They've regressed, if anything.
They have. I don't know what's happened, but you're right. They've gone backwards.
Something strange there. I can't figure it out. Freo in a good spot. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Freo too. I think that they've beaten teams that I wouldn't have thought that they would have beaten. So,
in saying that as well, it's still been a light run. They still have beaten teams I wouldn't have thought, but there's still been a light. They haven't versed on Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney.
But you can only beat who's in front of you. And
they might have played Sydney.
A lot of teams have played. Carlton played Gold Coast and lost, mate. So come on.
So we both gone Freo there as well.
Yes, mate. I'm
going to have to back.
I'm backing the train. I'm going to back the train, and they're going to lose. It's going to happen.
I need to watch this one. Because I've seen the highlights of Freo, but I want to watch a game and see what's going on there. Because actually, like St Kilda, what I'm seeing, I'm more liking. So
Yes.
I need to sit down and make sure I get that one on the telly. And then Monday game.
Easter
I keep
Monday.
forgetting, yeah, it's Easter weekend, so Monday game. Hawthorn versus Geelong.
It's always Easter Monday, by the way.
Is it right?
Yep.
Oh, well, there you go. So we got Easter Thursday. Brisbane Collingwood, they got Easter Monday. Interesting.
They've always had Easter Monday, like even before we had Thursday.
Well, what I was saying just before, I think if we go back, we said this at the first step, round 2 or 3, Hawthorn's bubble will burst first.
Yep.
And it's burst.
And, yeah, because, I mean, really, if you think about it, they beat Adelaide, which, no real shock there.
Yeah. I had them as spoons, I think.
Yeah, and then they beat Port, which was... No, did they play Adelaide first? They didn't play Adelaide and Port, surely. No, who did they play first? North Melbourne, sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Mixer. They played the Kangaroos first,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not really a shocker out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they played Port Adelaide, which was the big shock. They're going to Port Adelaide and obviously getting the win. But then ever since then, they've reverted back to sort of their old style. I think that Sam Mitchell just implemented a great game plan against Port Adelaide. But ever since then, Hawthorn are really showing their true colours now, and they're not where maybe people thought they were. And I don't think against Geelong, who are the best regular season team in the fucking world, but then when they get to the fucking finals, they're useless.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to beat Geelong. I think that Geelong will get it done, and Tom Hawkins to kick 6 probably.
And if Hawthorn beat Geelong, it's going to piss me right the fuck off.
Oh, yeah.
It'll piss me off.
Yeah.
But I'm
because you'll probably beat Hawthorn by like 80, but you can't beat Geelong.
Can't beat Geelong. I don't know what. But I think, like I said, if we have Big O, I think we win. But we'll save that. We might verse them later in the season. We'll see how that goes. But I'm going Geelong. I mean, St Kilda pulled Hawthorn's pants down, man.
They did.
It was us.
They really did.
Slapping, dude. And this is how in trouble Hawthorn are defensively. Hawthorn going forward and from the middle is not too bad. But defensively, I think St Kilda went into their 50-44 times. They scored 22 goals, 10 from a 44-45 entries. Almost every time they're going in, they're having a ping. That's fucking just terrible. I'm going Geelong as well. I think we were talking another 40, 50, and I think you're right on Hawkins.
I think Hawkins can kick 6, and I'm fairly certain if you look at like sort of records, he usually does have a big field day against Hawthorn.
No, he'll just push blokes in the back, mate. He'll be all right. He'll get sorted. He'll get away with it. Well, there we go.
I'll tell you what, he puts them playing as him, the ruckman, when just in the forward 50.
That's good.
It's the best tactic, man.
It's good.
He's so strong.
Yeah, no, he's hard.
Dumb can't, but strong.
Adam still did well on him, but he still got 4 or 5. I can't remember how many he got, but
he got 5 against you guys. 5 goals, 3, I think.
And Adam still did well. It just went to them, I think, 20 times. It went to Adams and Hawkins 20 times, I think. So it was a good little battle. But there we go, mate.
That's a real mismatch, though. Whoever decided to put Adams on Hawkins is a
He did well. In the 3 of those 5, he pushed Adams. I don't want to get into it, but we'll just fucking leave it.
Well, the last one, it's Andrews.
Yeah, he pushed it. And you know what's funny about that? 3 minutes later, there's footage on this. Andrews pushes the shit out of Hawkins, backs out of the way, takes a mark and looks at the ump, and basically saying, "Don't you fucking dare! Don't you fucking dare!" And the umpire didn't call it. You're like, "Oh, fair."
Well, he's thinking, I'm not calling.
The game's dead now, you idiot.
Yeah, I'm not calling pushing the back today, guys. Go to town.
Yeah, and we still had the chance to win that, so it wasn't completely umpires. So umpires are just discussing anyway. Anyway, it needs to get better. I think we're allowed to demand that. But that's it, mate. Hopefully our tips are a bit better this week.
So episode 3 done. Round 5. Round 5, correction, guys. Round 5.
Already.
Episode 3. Yeah, it's crazy, mate. It just ticks along. It just keeps ticking. I'm really worried for Thursday. I'm going live. If you follow our Instagram page, I'm probably going to do some sort of live stream. It's going to happen, particularly probably after the game. So
you might want to do it before.
No, because I'm going to do after. Because if we get fucking poleaxe, which is a good chance,
just take drinking money.
I want to do a breakdown.
Yeah.
So I need to do a breakdown. So stay tuned for the Instagram on the live stream. It's probably going to happen. But that probably wraps it up. So again, if you like like, comment, subscribe. If you're new, make sure you follow Jack's gaming page, MrJxckss. Link will be down in the description as always, and above his head, probably somewhere around up there or wherever he is, left or right, however he sorts it out. But that's it, guys. And as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one.
No worries. Catches.